How to be patient. The key to being patient is not actually being patient. It's literally by being impatient and being impatient for a long amount of time. I know that's probably crazy, right? It sounds insane, but the way to be patient is not trying to be patient. There's so many behaviors and characteristics that people tell you that you need to be. People tell you, oh, you need to be more patient. Oh, you need to be more this. Oh, you need to be nicer. Oh, you need to be more respectful. Oh, you need to be this and that. So many things that people expect you to be, and nobody actually tells you how to be it, right? And so this isn't just a video about patience. This is a video about identity, about adopting character traits that are desirable, character traits that help you to achieve extraordinary outcomes, character traits that you desire and admire about other people, within other people. So this video is about how to be patient, but I hope that you can translate this into whatever other characteristic that you want to adopt into your life. So the first principle is don't try to be patient. Don't try to be patient, right? That's the first thing you have to come to understand. Whenever you want to be something, the key is to not try to be that thing, but to invert it, right? Instead of trying to be patient, think about impatience. What does impatience look like? Well, impatience over a long enough amount of time is inherently patient, right? And this doesn't necessarily apply to other things, because if you think about like authenticity, for example, by being inauthentic, you'll never end up being authentic. But with patience, it's a really unique example which applies here. It's if you're impatient, but you extend that out a long enough period of time, then by nature you're being patient. Even if you feel a certain way, even if you feel impatient, by not doing the thing that you want to do and just sitting in that feeling of impatience, you're being patient. So this is the biggest thing. This is the biggest frame shift for me. It's that you don't need to be patient by forcing yourself to feel patient. You can feel incredibly shitty, incredibly impatient, and still be patient. That's the biggest frame shift for me, right? You can feel not confident, but that doesn't mean that you can't be confident, right? You can feel incredibly not confident or ready or prepared for something, but if you just show up and channel that energy as excitement, and you reframe that negative energy as something really positive, then it's okay. You can reframe impatience as an act of patience, and it's like, oh, okay, then that means I don't need to change the way I feel, and I will still get the outcome that I want. I don't need to change the fact that I feel impatient, or that I don't need to change the fact that I'm a so-called impatient person. I can still be that. I just need to extend the amount of time that I feel that, and that I'm innately patient. I don't have to change the fact that I'm not necessarily the most confident karaoke singer. I can be very unconfident about it, but on that stage, I can reframe it as excitement. I might not be confident, but I can feel confident in this moment because I'm excited to do this. And so the whole point of this video is that you don't need to be the thing. You don't need to change who you are to be something. You just need to reframe it. You just need to use some inversion. You need to invert the thing and then reframe it as this thing that's actually good. Reframe something bad as good, and you can only have good outcomes, right? If you view impatience as something good, as an evidence to show that, okay, you're actually being patient, then there's no negative outcome. There's no negative consequence here, right? You can only have room to gain, room to grow. So if you want to be something in this world, you want to adopt characteristics that are desirable. You admire people that are charismatic, right? Instead of trying to completely change your worldview and completely change who you are as a person to accommodate for that, just be it. Just invert it. Invert yourself and ask, okay, what is not charismatic? Like, what does not being charismatic look like? and just don't do that, right? Don't do those things. And whenever you are able to sufficiently stack up the behaviors that you don't want to do, you understand that, oh, okay, I actually feel kind of charismatic. People actually view me as somewhat of a charismatic person because I'm not doing these other things that don't make me look charismatic. And so when you use inversion and figure out what you don't want to do or don't do as a characteristic, then it instantly puts you farther ahead of everyone else because nobody else actually uses inversion. Everybody knows about it, but nobody actually does it. And the people that have done it, like Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett, have incredible outcomes, extraordinary outcomes, outcomes that people can only dream of, right? So if you can use inversion and realize, oh, okay, these are the things I shouldn't do, these are the pitfalls that I shouldn't fall into, these are the mistakes that I should try to avoid, then you waste less time, you waste less energy, you waste less money, you save your sanity, and you're actually able to do something hard. You're actually able to achieve something because you're making less mistakes. You're not wasting time like everyone else is. So first invert, and then adopt the identity of someone that even if you feel a certain way, you can still have the character trait. Because being something and feeling something is completely separate. It doesn't matter how you feel, right? It doesn't fucking matter how you feel. That applies to every single aspect of your life. If you're able to behave, if you're able to show up and act regardless of how you feel, that puts you ahead of so many people because there's so many people, that are just wired to behave in a manner that satisfies their emotions. They don't do the work because they don't feel like it. They don't shoot their shot because they feel nervous. They feel not confident. They feel like they're not attractive. But who the fuck cares how you feel? The only person that cares is you. And so if you're able to subvert that, transcend that, forget about your emotions, and just do the thing, do the action, show up and act, you inherently have that character trait. You inherently become that person. You become the guy that does the work, especially when they don't feel like it. You become the guy that shoots his shot. You become the guy that cold approaches girls because he doesn't care how he feels. He doesn't care if he feels antisocial that day, or if he feels sad, or if he feels unconfident, or if he feels unattractive, if he feels like the girl is out of his league. He doesn't give a fuck. He just does the thing anyway. And then he basically adopts the characteristic of someone that is charismatic, someone that is confident, someone that is attractive. And the funny magic part about this is that when you feel a certain way, but you don't give a shit about it and you just act anyway, you start to feel less like you originally did. And you start actually feeling more confident. So it's like this flywheel. It's a flywheel of doing a behavior regardless of how you feel, and then eventually you'll feel the way you want to feel, which is positive reinforcement to keep doing the behavior. But most people just get stuck at the first stage of feeling something and then just not doing something about it. Don't be that person. Goodbye.